there and welcome. Thanks for joining me once again at Liz at Home. Today we're going to be doing another colour and chat, and I'm just going to be chatting about some things as I colour in this book. So we're going to go on to downward view and we'll get on with the show. So today I'm going to be colouring with my watercolours. I'm just using my general palette of watercolours. It's a mix of different paints, Daniel Smith, Core, Winsor and Newton. And I'm simply colouring in. I'm not trying to do shading or anything special. I will be colouring in this book that I've not coloured in before and doing it for the Colour Your Hoard hashtag that's on Instagram. The Enchanted Journey, which I bought a couple of years ago and have not coloured a thing in as yet. So I thought it would be fun to colour with watercolours. I'm actually enjoying colouring this upside down for some obscure reason that I have no reason why. Excuse me in my fluffy dressing gown, which I've put over my clothes because I'm so cold. It's really freezing here at the moment. I'm using my poor broken down size 0. I'm not sure actually if it's a 0 or a 2. Could be a size 2. Princeton Snap brush, which I really like the point of. And I think I'm going to start with this Tiger Lily. I find things like this confusing because there's a stem there and then the leaf, and then I keep thinking that's something, but it's background. So we want an orange and a yellow. Yes, I think I'll just go with that. I'm nearly finished this Skillshare class that I've been working on, and I hope it's going to be a nice one. It's a class on watercolor and doodles, and once it's done I'll let you guys know, and I'll share a link for, I think they give us a month's free. I think we're usually given a month free to give away as a premium member. So I'll share that with you guys once I've got it. It's quite a lot of work making a Skillshare class, I must say, but it's part of how I earn my income, so I have to do it. Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't give me enough income at the moment to not have to have other forms of income. Oh, I'm not at all sure about this color. I was contemplating doing this picture in gouache, but I've only got about 6 colors of gouache. This is all run in there. I'm making a mess. The nice thing about gouache is that you can layer on top. It's funny, you know, the minute I start to film something, I can't color, can't paint. I've been watching a TV series called Severance. I recently took out a subscription to Apple TV. I was getting a bit tired of Netflix. The South African Netflix choice was nice when I joined, but now I seem to have watched most of what I like. And I felt like a change. That's very much who I am. I often feel like a change. You'll have noticed I seldom stick to one medium for very long in my colouring. And so I took out a month's subscription to Apple TV and I watched this series called Severance. I was wondering if any of you have watched it. I was completely blown away. It was such a weird story, and yet it absolutely drew me in. I'd love to know if any of you have watched it or not. I'm not sure what your countries are like with COVID restrictions, etc., but South Africa has lifted nearly all of their COVID restrictions, although I do still choose, it's my choice, to wear a face mask when I go shopping. I feel not being the youngest person, although I've had my inoculations, I still just feel like I want that little bit of protection. So I know that some people say that the face masks don't really protect us, but I wear mine anyway. Another series I've watched and finished watching on Apple TV is The Morning Show. Have any of you watched that? That was dealing with the start of COVID in the last episode. Now, that is part of this. So I put a question in the community tab of my channel here to ask for suggestions of people you'd like me to contact to maybe do another chat video, interview chat, like I've done 2 of already. And a few people have replied, but I just thought I'd mention it here in case you don't check out the community tab, to pop on there if there's somebody you'd particularly like me to reach out to. Quite a few YouTube colorists do not want to do a face-to-face chat, so the person you suggest may not be keen, and I respect everybody's right to privacy, so I can reach out and ask, and I'll only be doing the interviews about once a month because it's quite a thing to kind of do, and with us all living in different time zones and everything, it's, it's an issue to set up and all of that. And I also prefer colouring without having to go face on to the camera all the time. Not the prettiest picture on the box of chocolates, and so it's I sometimes just prefer to be able to do my thing and colour. But those videos seem to be popular and you guys seem to have enjoyed them, so I'd like to be able to present more to you. I wonder about that. I'm going to go back in with this burnt sienna in the middle. I'm not using a water brush because I find I can control the amount of water far better just with putting my own water on. And so I'm using quite thick paint here. Which means the brush gets quite dry, which is working in my favor at the moment to get this kind of brushy effect. I must say, as a tiger lily, this is a bit of a strange looking tiger lily still. going to try mixing some of this. It's Naples yellow, and I've got some Hansa yellow light here, and I'm going to try mixing some of that into the Naples yellow. The Naples yellow is a core paint, and it's a watercolor, not a gouache, but it's a very opaque watercolor, this particular one. So let's see if I like this color better here. I've mixed it with some Hansa yellow light, and it is a prettier color. I may go over that one with some gouache, but I need to leave it to dry before I do anything else, or I shall destroy this paper. So it's been our winter school break for the last few weeks, although I have been teaching some of my pupils through the holidays. Let me move this so that my hand is, that we're more on screen. Because for our final year, we still call matric. It's grade 12, the final year of school. And I find that their practical exams for the final practical always seem to get thrown at us early in August. It's actually for me very daunting, this particular pupil. She's homeschooled and she's doing an international type of exam, and they haven't given us the final dates yet. And I don't know if any of you have ever performed in something, but as a performer, one works to, you always know when your show's going to open, when your recital's going to be, when your exam's going to be, and you work to a schedule so that you kind of peak at the time of that schedule, of that performance taking place. If you're in a musical that's then going to run for months, you have to find something within yourself to find that excitement and that performing, that ability to perform as if it's your first night every night. But that takes quite a lot of professionalism and experience to be able to do, and it's in a big show, so you feed energy of other people. But to do a single solo recital as in an exam, one builds to something, and we've not been given the date for this final exam. So you want to be ready, but you don't want to peak too soon, and you don't want to get tired and bored with the pieces. So I'm finding it very frustrating, not knowing. When I worked in a school, we always had the dates of when things were going to be, so you knew what you were working towards. It's driving me a little bit silly, and I really care for my pupils, so I take it all quite seriously, which is probably what most teachers do, I should imagine. I much prefer this colour for the tiger lily. I know they're sometimes pink, but the ones I've had are nearly always this sort of colour. There we are. That's that. I think that I'm going to call this quits now and call this video done. and leave this picture as it is because these pieces need to dry. And I just wanted to pop in and say hello basically and touch sides with you guys, and I'll be back later in the week with a longer video. I do apologize for having been a little bit absent, but yeah, it's just been one of those times for me. Okay, thanks for watching and have a lovely and colorful week. Bye bye now.